Let me start by asking you, when last did you donate blood? Out of free will, or have you ever donated blood? Well, if you haven't done it before, you should consider it because you just may be saving a life. Today, Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark World Blood Donor Day, a day to raise awareness on the need for safe blood and blood products, and to also thank voluntary and unpaid blood donors for their life-saving gifts of blood by recognizing their selflessness and generosity as they continue to save lives. This year's campaign slogan is very apt: give blood, give hope, together we save lives. Looking at the narrative for Nigeria, health experts say there seems to be a gap in blood donation, especially low voluntary donation rates, misconceptions about blood donation, inadequate infrastructure for storage, among other aspects of concern, which largely contributes to blood shortages across blood banks in the country. Despite the myth around blood donations, which makes some persons avoid anything that has to do with that, how can existing donors, both new and old, be encouraged to give blood regularly in order to ensure a stable and sufficient blood supply across the blood banks in the country? Tonight, our focus is on World Blood Donor Day, safety and availability. And our guest is Professor Sale Yuguda, Director General, National Blood Service Agency. Thank you for joining us. This is Weekend File. I'm Ruth Aguele. Why don't we begin with the news first? The federal government is set to initiate a breed improvement program and pasture cultivation center at the historic Wawazange Grazing Reserve in Gombe State. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Miha, revealed this when he undertook a facility tour at the Grazing Reserve, reiterating commitment to transform the livestock industry in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. Yusuf Jika reports.
The historic Wawazange Grazing Reserve in Gombe State has a total landmass of 1,144 hectares with potential to house thousands of herders and provide large-scale business opportunities to industry players despite challenges of infrastructure.
This place has been here for over 55 years.
The biggest challenge in Wawazange is water availability.
The visit is to acquaint the Minister of Realities on ground and activate necessary mechanisms to upgrade and optimize facilities for greater productivity and large-scale commercial drive. Other infrastructure to receive attention of the Renewed Hope agenda and the Grazing Reserve were school, primary health care, veterinary clinic, road network, among others, to provide an enabling environment for breed improvement and pasture cultivation in the Grazing Reserve.
Wawazange should come back to life. We are going to use Wawazange as one of our breed improvement centers, as one also area we are going to encourage massive pasture cultivation, so that any grazer, any farmer, any animal rearer that comes here will have no need again to migrate out of Wawazange.
We did a design on canalization of water because the main issue in this grazing reserve is water. Whatever investment you will do here, if you didn't solve the issue of water, you will have problem.
Highlight of the visit was the inspection of the ongoing rehabilitation of one of the dams being carried out by a livestock productivity and resilience support project. In Gombe, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
One city at a time, Nigeria is implementing a comprehensive inclusion of displaced persons of the society. Their resettlement going hand in hand with empowerment and skills acquisition. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, said this while inaugurating the Renewed Hope Resettlement City in Yerkande community in Kefi, Nasarawa State, for displaced persons. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Yakande village is a serene community located in the deep recess of Kefi, Nasarawa State. Its skyline is now dotted with the Senator Oluremi Tinubu IDP Resettlement City, established by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs, and currently home to about 239 persons of concern who have been displaced from their homes. Flying on the wings of compassion, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is here to put a name and voice behind ongoing federal government efforts to give the IDPs a new lease of life and promote their inclusion.
Today's occasion represents progress in a national effort to restore hope, dignity, safety, and patriotism to fellow Nigerians who have been displaced from their homes due to circumstances, communal clashes, and natural disasters.
The inauguration of the city is a milestone, but to effectively change the narrative for the IDPs, she says there is more to be done.
Our work does not end here. It is also encouraging to hear that the resettlement city is equipped with greenhouses, vocational training centers, a police station, and a clinic. This will no doubt go a long way in helping the families to settle down and be independent. To the families being settled here today, I say this is a new dawn.
They lived purely on farming. And today, when they get away from the farming activities, it's a problem. And that's the reason why we decided to give them 100 hectares of land so they can go and continue with the farming activity. For displaced people, your voice is heard. You are seen.
The Ministry of Women Affairs stands ready to scale up all interventions, not just for the IDPs that will be reintegrated today, but for all persons of concern in the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This center will offer practical training in viable, bankable crafts, enabling thousands of persons of concern to acquire sustainable means of income.
I have this message for my friend. He's the best president. He's our friend today. He will be our friend tomorrow.
We are home away from home.
In furtherance of our directive to put money in the hands of women, a business recapitalization grant of 200,000 naira was presented to women in each of the households. From Yakande village in Kefi, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
As Nigeria continues its pursuit of excellence in its education sector, maintaining high standards in national examinations remains top priority. To this end, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, was on ground to monitor the 2025 National Common Entrance Examination organized by the National Examinations Council, NECO. Zenret Dingmun will tell us more.
As pencils scratch against paper, futures are being shaped across the country. 64,000 candidates are sitting for the 2025 National Common Entrance Examination, a critical step towards admission into Nigeria's prestigious unity colleges. According to Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, this remarkable turnout is more than just a number, but a reflection of trust Nigerians have in the unity colleges as institutions that unite diverse cultures while nurturing academic excellence and national identity.
We are doing good, and that's why parents are happy with us and allowing their students to register for this examination so that they can be part of the unity schools. We are happy with the conduct of the examination, and we are hoping that even for our senior secondary school examination, that is the SSCE, WAEC and NECO, we will see an improvement where exams will be conducted on time and everything will go smoothly.
We have not seen any challenge. Materials are enough and delivered on time. For such candidates like candidates with autism, there are people that assist them, and the blind candidate are provided with braille and other equipment for them to answer their questions.
Professor Ahmed also emphasizes the need to uphold higher standards in the conduct of national examinations, stressing that the integrity of these assessments remains the foundation of a credible and resilient education system. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
Now, if those students are able to scale through, they get into tertiary institution. Now, imagine completing your studies in just 3 years and having access to federal starter packs or soft loans to launch your own enterprise. For over 29,000 students sitting for the 2025 entrance examination into federal science and technical colleges across the country, that imagination is fast becoming a pathway to reality. Organized by the National Business and Technical Examinations Board, the exam is more than a test. It is also seen as a doorway to skills acquisition, youth empowerment, and economic self-reliance. Olayinka Ojo reports.
Technical and Vocational Education and Training, TVET, offers more than just a classroom instruction. It delivers a hands-on practical approach to learning, equipping students with industry-recognized credentials and skills that are in high demand in today's job market. Designed to empower students with specialized knowledge across diverse sectors from construction, fashion, hospitality to engineering, this year's entrance examination into Nigeria's 33 federal science and technical colleges is more than a test. It is a stepping stone to personal and economic transformation. Among them is 13-year-old Angel Pius, who dreams of becoming both a caterer and a fashion designer.
Because I love doing it in my house. I know how to cook. I'm in charge of the housework. And also I have interest in all these ladies' garments.
Mechanical crafts, like aluminum is there, building of things is there.
The entrance questions are based on the different skills set, but the students will be admitted based on their areas of strength while answering the questions.
No country succeeds without the artisan, craftsmen, and technicians. They form the backbone of GDP of any nation.
Then apart from the opportunity it affords parents, being that we are given the privilege that is going to be tuition free, it's another motivation.
Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
In other news, the federal government is taking a bold step to raise awareness about the benefits of the new tax reform bills recently passed by both chambers of the National Assembly. Now, the awareness program put together by the Office of the Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement for the Northwest, in collaboration with Federal Inland Revenue Service, is to enhance public understanding of government policies on improving revenue generation. Habibu Hussaini reports.
A high-level roundtable discussion has brought together tax and revenue administrators. The focus is to examine the potential impact of the new tax reforms on the economy. The bills appeal to citizens to support the president and revenue-generating agencies in the full implementation of the reforms.
There are a lot of controversies surrounding the inheritance tax, which we have made it clear to everyone that has been expunged. We have also said to people the military too have been exempted from tax, and then other areas like on food items, that is on commodities, there's no tax on commodities, on healthcare, and even on education.
The engagement between the FRS, the Office of the SSA, and what are the contents of the tax reform bill for the community to understand and comprehend what it says, and all other issues that are unclear are pointed out.
We are also concerned about developments. If we come and invest in the state, how can that project be sustainable? It is to increase an IGR and to check all the loop of all the problems.
Participants described the roundtable as highly rewarding and placed their commitment to pass the message across for better understanding of the reform bills. In Kano, Habib Hussein, NTA News.
Veteran broadcaster and President Urobo Leadership Forum Abuja, Peter Eagle, describes veteran publisher of the Vanguard newspaper, Sam Amuka, as belonging to the group of writers who attained professional maturation in the years immediately before independence. Congratulating Sam Amuka on his 90th birthday, Peter Igo says the quality and endurance of Amuka's journalism has been evident over the years, using his ethnic influences as a platform for his professional accomplishments and societal good. So let's remind you that today is the day to thank voluntary blood donors and also to probe issues around the shortage of blood donation. That's our conversation, but after the break. Stay tuned. Thank you for being there. As Nigeria marks another World Blood Donor Day, the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, wants Nigerians to work in solidarity to strengthen health systems and respond to global health challenges. Basi Ita Ipang reports that the Vice President's wife, Nana Shatima, who represented the First Lady, was the 2025 first-time donor.
Give blood, give hope, together we save lives is the theme of this year's Blood Donor Day, observed annually to create awareness on the critical need for safe blood and blood products.
I hope this marathon will be the beginning of a movement where voluntary blood donation becomes a norm in every Nigerian community. After
Several years of the celebration, what has changed in Nigeria in terms of blood safety?
I think what has really changed now is the sensitization and the orientation of people towards blood donation. We and the agency, from our records, we have witnessed that in the last 6 months, due to the new interventions we have had a turnout of more and more donors every day. And there's this attitude before that female rarely donate, because some people feel female should not donate. But we have made people realize that there's no difference between gender in terms of donation.
Nathan John, the highest blood donor, who has donated for 84 times, has this to say.
It's been wonderful because it's one of the gifts I give to somebody who is in need that will not be able to pay me back. Or I don't even know the person that will, you will take the transfusion. And each pint that I donate like this, it takes 3 lives to be saved.
The day was also used to celebrate regular donors. Basi Taipa, NTA News.
Well, the World Health Organization says Nigeria needs an estimated 1.8 million units of blood per annum. But voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation accounts for only 10% of the total collection in the country. Now, this situation is raising concerns about the safety of blood units collected from commercial and family replacement donors. Hinginu John Adams reports.
Jonathan Agoro, a hero who saves lives with his generosity, has been a blood donor for over 20 years now. He says donating blood gives him joy as it is his little way of rendering service to humanity.
It is relatively simple to do, and it will only take a prick of the needle. And what you are doing by donating just 1 pint of blood, you are saving about 3 lives.
Data from the National Blood Service Commission, NBSC, shows that Nigeria gets only 27% of its annual blood need from voluntary blood donors, leaving a shortfall of about 73.3% annually. As a way of creating more awareness on the relevance of blood donation, Lagos State government has been organizing campaigns with encouraging outcomes.
Just last year, we understood that over 10,000 or about 11,000 people were able to donate blood voluntarily through their platform. They have the structure.
Experts are amplifying standards of blood safety, as well as encouraging voluntary and unpaid blood donation to ensure sufficient and safe blood supply for all.
Before you donate blood, we have to give you you have to have gotten some selected criteria, before you get to donate blood. And then after you donate blood, we'll allow you to rest for some time, for like 10 to 15 minutes, because we don't want you to have a reaction. So we'll allow you to rest for some time, and then we'll give you some fluids. We encourage you to take a lot of fluids.
With more Nigerians joining the likes of Jonathan Agoro, it is believed that the annual shortfall of blood needed of about 73.3% will be reduced drastically. In Lagos, Hingino, John Adams, NTA News.
So you heard it from Jonathan. It's that easy, right? But let's bring in our guest to tell us how easy it has been managing the whole issue around blood donation in the country. Let's welcome Professor Sale Yuguda, Director General, National Blood Service Agency. Thank you very much for joining us, Prof.
It's a pleasure for having me here. Thank you very much.
All right, let's begin by looking at the margin. Nigeria is said to need about 2 million units of blood to meet, the growing demand. And we're seeing shortage in the donation of blood. What are you doing about it?
Thank you very much for having me here. First and foremost, let me congratulate Nigerians for celebrating this World Blood Donor Day. And World Blood Donor Day is celebrated every year on the 14th of June. This day is set aside by the World Health Organization in order to thank all those that have been giving blood voluntarily, and also to encourage others to join the bandwagon of donating blood voluntarily. So as we have already seen in the reports, Nigeria has a very wide shortage of blood in the country. And this is based on the fact that most of us are not willing to come out to donate blood voluntarily. And this is impacting negatively on most of the things that the management of most of the elements that we are supposed to be doing in our hospitals. For example, whatever you are going to manage, be it accident victims, maternal mortality, childhood diseases, under 5 mortality, all these ones at one point or the other requires blood transfusion. And based on the statistics, you will agree with me that maternal mortality, that's death from pregnancy and childbirth, accounts for the lack of blood transfusion accounts for up to 40% of such deaths. When you look at the accident victims, about 30% of them die due to lack of access to timely access to blood transfusion. At the same time, when you are talking about management of cancer, management of childhood diseases like severe malaria, sickle cell disease, and so on and so forth. So all these conditions requires blood transfusion at one point or the other. And based on the statistics, in Nigeria, we need at least 2 million units of blood based on our population annually in order to cater for our needs. And unfortunately, we are able to supply less than 30% of that requirement. So you will agree with me that there is a wide shortage of blood in the country, and that's why we are calling on all individuals to come out and donate blood regularly and voluntarily.
Prof, it's good you've attested to the shortage, but going forward, we're looking at solution, which is what this Blood Donor Day is canvassing for. We have misconceptions from individuals who are afraid based on cultural or religious belief or just personal fear. What strategies are you adopting to break that cycle, to make people come out and donate blood voluntarily?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Actually, there are a lot of misconceptions across the board, more especially when it comes to donating blood. First and foremost, let me assure Nigerians that donating blood is safe. Donating blood cannot harm you. In fact, even if you didn't give the blood voluntarily to individuals that are in need, the way the nature designed our body is such a way that the blood cells themselves have half-life. That they have a lifespan where they will die within a certain period of time. For example, our red blood cells usually die after a maximum of 120 days, and the nature will now replace them. So even if you didn't give people, constantly the cells are being replaced in your body. So back to the question now. When you donate blood, there is no harm in it, even though there are just some few pains that you will feel when they are taking the blood from you, just the needle prick. And then also, when you look at it, you will not feel much, like we saw in the reports. So by the time you donate blood, you are saving lives. And moreover, we as the healthcare personnel, before we collect your blood, we have to make sure that you yourself is safe to donate blood. because we can't take blood from you when it will be harmful actually when you donate blood. So what are we doing in that aspect is that when you come to donate blood, we sit down with you, ask you some questions, basic questions about your lifestyles, and also check your blood pressure, check your weight. We have to make sure that you have the minimum weight for a blood donation, which is about 50 kilograms. So we have to do all this background to make sure that you are not on any medication that will affect your health after donating blood. And after, it's only when you are found to be fit to donate blood, that's when we will collect your blood, because we also have a duty on us to protect you as the donor of this blood, and at the same time while we are trying to save lives. So donating blood is very safe for everybody. So I'm therefore encouraging people to come out and donate blood en masse to save lives.
Okay, Prof, we'll pick up with the conversation because sensitization is very key if we want to move forward. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Thank you for being there. Every drop you gave is a gift of life because blood cannot be manufactured. It must come from those who care. Now, those were the words of the President, Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, NAFUA, Rekia Abubakar, to commemorate the World Blood Donor Day. Defense correspondent Olajibide Bello reports.
Compassion took flight at the Nigerian Air Force Base as the Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, NAFUA, led a powerful campaign in commemoration of World Blood Donor Day. I met Ruth Pitiko, a nurse who is also a constant blood donor. She explains the joy she derives knowing fully well that she has saved lives.
Because you can never tell. It may be your loved one that will be on the street and needed blood. If only you had donated blood and there's a blood in the blood bank, it will save that life.
Antonia, before the sensitization, had a different perception to blood donation.
I'm very grateful for this lecture because I've never had to donate blood, but I've seen reasons to donate blood.
For NAFUA, the belief is that every effort to protect life is noble, and blood donation, though silent and simple, is one of the most powerful gifts anyone can offer.
That is why we've taken this step to not only raise awareness, but to explain the process and encourage more members of our community to embrace this vital act of service.
People think if they donate blood, they will keep it even after like 1 year or like 5 months it can be used. No, the shorter the duration you keep the blood, the better.
From raising awareness to saving lives, NAFUA reminds us that saved blood saves lives. Be a donor, be a hero. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
All right, Prof, let's continue the conversation. Before we took the break and going by what we're seeing from this report, sensitization is very key. I want to believe you're also a key stakeholder in this blood donation, but it's not about you. It's about having people come in, to give this blood voluntarily. What has been the strategy for the agency to sensitize people?
Thank you very much. We at the agency, that is the National Blood Service Agency, we started this year's program from the 1st of June. So basically what we have been doing is we have been going from one community to other, and if you observe, this World Blood Donor Day sensitization program is currently occurring in almost all the states of the Federation. So we have our state offices, we have zonal offices, all of them concurrently have been sensitizing people to come out and be donating blood. So we started from 1st June, like I said earlier, whereby we have been going from one community to another, from one religious body to another. All of them, we are just preaching one word to them: please be a voluntary donor. So yesterday, we also had our road walk inside Abuja here, and today we had the mini marathon where it was graced by the First Lady of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oruremi Tinubu, who was represented at the occasion by the wife of the Vice President. So we had the mini marathon where we had many youth organizations and also women organizations participated in the program. And we preach one word to them, that's be a voluntary blood donor. And we also we are also going to continue this program until the end of the month. So the strategy we are adopting is to engage almost all the stakeholders in the country that are very important, right from our donor partners, more especially the WHO, and all the armed forces are there. They are also partnering with us. There are many NGOs that are partnering with us, also working towards this, encouraging people to come out and be donating blood. And we are also going from one religious body to another. We have been into the mosques and the churches, all of them partnering with the religious bodies in order to preach the gospel of donating blood voluntarily. Because when you look at it, donating blood is an act of selfless acts where you help somebody that you don't even know, and there is no more sacrifice that you can do to humanity. And like you said earlier on, blood is something that cannot be manufactured in the laboratory, and the only way we get blood is when you and I agree to be part of this bandwagon of voluntary blood donors, and that's the only way we can achieve the gaps we have.
Okay, so let's delve a bit into the capacity of the agency. I know there's about 17 blood collection, testing and distribution centers across the 6 geopolitical zones and the FCT. And there are plans from reports that, the agency is trying to scale up the process. So what is the update? Where are you now? Because it's one thing to have these people come in, you're encouraging people to come donate blood, and there's not enough room to, enable that to thrive.
So thank you very much for that question. So when we came on board last year, if you look at the history, the programs, the National Blood Service Agency started as a program about 20 years ago under the Federal Ministry of Health. Then the federal government of Nigeria felt it deemed to establish a standalone agency which will take care of the needs of Nigerians. And this led to the establishment of our national signing of the act that establishes the National Blood Service Agency in 2021. And then for the first time this year, under the Mr. President's Renewed Hope initiative, we have a significant increment in our budgetary allocation, because when we came on board last year, we look at we did a mapping and we look at the baseline. We did a baseline survey of our facilities. Like you said, we have 17 offices across the country, including the 6 regional offices. So we have a very big infrastructural gap in almost all our centers. Storage was a problem; is also a problem. Power supply, and also the vehicles that we are using. So this year, under the Renewed Hope initiative of Mr. President, we have a very significant increment in our budgetary allocation. In fact, for the first time in history, we have more than 30%, 30 times increment in our budgetary allocation. And what we are planning to do now is to revamp all our storage facilities across the country, that in the 17 states, and also to expand the capacity of such offices, so that each of our offices will not just be a blood collection center or storage center. It will be actually a center of reference for almost all the hospitals in the country. And we at the agency were also partnering with the Association of Local Government of Nigeria. We have already signed an MOU with the national leadership of ALGON, whereby we will establish at least one blood collection and storage facility in each of the local government of the country. So that's what we are doing now to boost the capacity. And also on the issue of human capital development, we have already signed an MOU and we got the grant. We have already gotten approval. We are establishing a training center, because in Kano, actually, we are establishing a training center for blood transfusion medicine in Kano. And this is based on the fact that we observe currently there is no any formal postgraduate training center for blood transfusion, because it's one thing to have enough blood available. And the other major challenge that we have in the country is inappropriate use of the little commodity that is available for us. So we now felt that we need to train our health workers, healthcare personnel, in order to be appropriately using this blood when it's available. So that's what we are doing as the agency.
Okay, Prof, of course, I won't let you go without asking this very crucial question. You may have been asked, in some quarters, but even today, when I mentioned, oh, this is the conversation today, the first thing that came to the mind is, I can't give blood voluntarily because it's been sold, allegedly. I'm sure you've heard the concerns of voluntary sale of, donated blood. How would you respond to that to clarify the situation?
Yeah, thank you very much. I will not run away from accepting the fact that there is blood racketeering going on in the country, we know. But what I can assure Nigerians is for every blood that you give us voluntarily, we make sure that we use it judiciously because we distribute this blood to the community. But one major thing that I want to explain here is that most of the hospitals, they don't sell the blood. They actually charge for the services they render. Because when you get a blood, you need money to collect the blood bags, you need money to screen the blood, you need money to do blood grouping, you need money also to transfuse that blood to the patients. So there are a lot of things that is going on in the background in the laboratory in order to make sure that that blood that we are giving the patient is actually safe for them. So most of the hospitals, that's the money they charge. They are not actually selling the blood, collecting money for the blood itself. Because when you look at the National Health Act 2014, it clearly states that selling any part of our human body in Nigeria, including blood, is prohibited. And
so, but are you checkmating, Prof? Sorry to cut in.
Yes.
Are you checkmating to ensure that
they
are doing the right thing?
Yes, we are checkmating actually. We have a national task force which comprises almost all the armed forces and then the major regulatory bodies that are involved in healthcare sector. The more especially the NAFDAC is there, the Medical and Dental Council is there, Medical Laboratory Council, Nursing Council, they are all part of the task force. So we also have the responsibility to regulate and make sure that each blood establishment in the country is adhering to the minimum set of criteria. So the method we are adopting now is to digitalize the system. We have already started, I mentioned here some times ago, that we have already signed an MOU with a company whereby we want to make sure that digitalize the whole system of blood collection, whereby we can be able to trace every pint of blood that is donated in Nigeria, right from the donor to the patient. So we are on that, and very soon we will launch it across the country.
Thank you so much, Professor Sale Yuguda. Thank you for clarifying issues and also enlightening Nigerians on the need to donate blood. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
And if it's your first time, thinking of going to donate blood after hearing this conversation, make sure you eat first. But to know that you're giving hope, you're giving life to someone you may not even know. Let's take a break. Thank you for staying tuned. 31 housemates are jostling for the ultimate prize in the Season 2 repacked Empire Mansion reality show. A boot camp by Achieving Greatness Limited and Empire Mansion. The show is aimed at empowering youths with business skills and innovative ideas. Joel Papola reports.
Like the saying, many are called but a few are chosen. After a rigorous selection process, these are housemates of Empire Mansion Season 2. They are professionals from different fields of human endeavors. With family members and fan base on ground to show solidarity, viewers are eager to see them showcase their innovative skills. The organizers of the reality show say viewers should expect a reality show with a difference as it focuses on creating impacts in the society. Housemates will not be restricted to the mansion as they will undertake tasks that positively contribute to the society.
But we do have that power to at least use our platform to reach out to the public. So we'll go out, marketplace, schools, orphanage home, our contestants will do things that make changes life.
They'll be in the house for about 60 days. Yes, and the winner will go home with about 60 million naira, a brand new car.
Spanning about 60 days, housemates of the show, hinged on touching lives and impacting the world, are expected to put in their best. The major sponsor, Golden Penny, and partners say will awaken the can-do spirit of the youths.
when Empire came up with this idea, with this great idea, we were like, oh yeah, they want to bring people out to achieve greatness. So why can't we also, we are the brand that cares. We want to help you achieve that greatness.
The ideology is to impart to the young ones with business education and a lot of other impactful activities.
Empire Mansion Season 2 will be aired on DSTV Channel 262, GoTV 129, Star Times 116, Free TV 751, and all social media platforms. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
All right, time to do a sports update, and Ayo Deji Makinde is set for us. Ayo.
All right, thanks so much, Ruth. We'll begin with para-sports because Paralympic and world champion Folashade Oluwafemi has won the 160-kilogram event of the National Open Para Powerlifting Championship ongoing in Abuja. The championship, organizers say, is part of activities lined up for para-athletes to select the best that will represent the country in forthcoming international para championships.
For the past 2 Paralympic games we have not gone with our complete team. So we are looking forward in this trial to go with the complete team and the upcoming ones to go and prove the nation that we are there for them.
Para powerlifting rules, international rules, you must start your pathway this year till the next Paralympic Games. Every year you must go to
let's talk more. The International Cricket Council says ICC is building the capacity of coaches in Africa with trends and tactics in line with international cricket standards. To this end, 20 coaches drawn from 3 African countries of Sierra Leone, Ghana and Nigeria are participating in an ICC Level 2 coaching course at the Cricket Oval of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. ICC representatives believe upon attaining the badges, the certification will afford them more opportunities to compete with the best in the world.
Learning is actually applying that knowledge, and so that we don't want them to sit with this knowledge. We want them to convey it to the players.
One of our best groups that we've had over the last 3 years of doing this Level 2. And I hope and I foresee a very good result at the end of the week.
It's very vital because ICC find out that Nigeria is in the development country in cricket in particular, and they need to show us the love of making things move forward in the cricket.
Away from Nigeria, Taylor Fritz has his eyes on a 9th ATP title after beating Felix Auger-Aliassime 6-4, 7-6. And the Stuttgart semi-finals to reach his first final this year. The 27-year-old will play German top seed Alexander Zverev in the final on Sunday. A win for Fritz will make it his 4th title on the grass courts. Elsewhere, Emma Raducanu will not play in this week's Berlin Open as she continues to manage a back problem. The 22-year-old, who will regain her status as British #1 on Monday, has been struggling with the issue since competing in Strasbourg last month before the French Open. The former US Open champion took an off-court medical timeout during a quarter-final loss to Zheng Qinwen at the Queen's just on Friday. And that's your sports. Let's get back to Ruth.
Many thanks, Ayo. Before we go, Ayo, let's check out the weather together, right?
Yeah, surely.
The weather forecast. It's a calm and quiet start to the day as a cloudy Sunday morning is expected to most parts of the country, with intervals of sunshine to the north and parts of the north central. As the day progresses, the chances of isolated thunderstorms to the southern parts of the country, parts of the north central, while the northern states, localized thunderstorms are expected across the region. Stand by for the temperature forecast across some selected cities. My name is Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
You're wondering why I'm smiling? Well, tomorrow, Sunday 15th June, is a special day. Special because it is Father's Day. Yes, a day set aside to honor and appreciate fathers, father figures, stepfathers and uncles for the bond and care they demonstrate and the positive impact of such on the society. I guess you remember some special moments you had with your dad while growing up. The sacrifices to make sure you become who you are today. And for those whose dads are still around, the fatherly advice you get in moments of critical challenges and life's decisions can't be bought with money. So why can't you make time out tomorrow to appreciate your dad? Is distance the challenge? Not at all. Telephone, bank transfer have made it all easy. Please get across to your dad and put a smile on his face. And if he's within reach, meet him with one-on-one, with a resounding peck or a hug. After all, he won't be with you forever. Take advantage of the day and make it a memorable one with some pictures, of course. That picture you may have with your dad might become useful someday. So go to bed with this assignment. See you again next week. Enjoy your night. I'm Ruth Aguele.